Chapter 2 from the Hornbill Book. We are not afraid to die if we can all be together, by Gordon Cook and Alan East. As the title suggests, it is an adventurous ordeal at sea. It is an account of the narrator's grit and courage to face adversities, especially when one enjoys the faith and support of his kith and kin. The lesson is a piteous account of how the family of the narrator, his wife, and two children had a close encounter with the death during their voyage. The lesson teaches us the great value of courage and valor. It says, if one keeps one's calm in the times of adversities and maintains faith and conviction in one's own strength, even God seems to be stand by the side of such valiant and brave people. The chapter starts with the long-standing dream of the author to duplicate the round-the-world voyage made 200 years earlier by Captain James Cook. The author and his wife spent 16 years of their leisure time in improvising their seafaring skills in the British waters. They took Wave Walker, a professionally built boat, 23 meters long, 30-ton wooden-hulled beauty. They fitted and tested it in the roughest waters of the sea. They set their sail in 1976 of July, with wife Mary, son Jonathan, and daughter Suzanne from Plymouth, England. The first leg of their journey passed pleasantly as the voyagers sailed down the west coast of Africa to Cape Town. They took two board crewmen, Larry Vigil, an American, and Herb Ziegler, a Swiss. They set a sail for the southern Indian Ocean, the world's roughest sea. They encountered strong winds on the second day out of the Cape Town, which continued for the next few weeks. The cause of worry was so alarming because the size of the waves rising up to 15 meters as high as the mast. They reached 3,500 kilometers east of Cape Town on December 25th. They celebrated Christmas and kept the spirits high despite the deterioration in the weather conditions. So on January 2nd, the waves became huge. The voyagers saw endless enormous sea rolling towards them, the screaming of the wind and the spray painful to the ears. To slow down the ball, they dropped the storm jib, lashed a heavy mooring rope in a loop across the stern. They double lashed everything and went through the life raft drill. They attached lifelines, donned the oilskins and put on the life jackets. So at about 6 p.m., the wind dropped, the sky became absolutely dark. Within a short while, author saw a gigantic wave, twice the height of the other waves, was appearing perfectly vertical. The tremendous explosion shook the deck. A powerful flow of green and white water broke over the ship. Captain got injured. His head smashed into the wheel. He was flown over the board and sank below the waves. He lost consciousness. Somewhere he was approaching towards death. But fortunately, providential escape happened with the author. His head suddenly popped out of the water. After that, the Wave Walker was getting sunk. The mast of the boat became almost horizontal. A wave threw the ship upright. The captain grabbed the guardrails and sailed through the air into the Wave Walker's main boom. He was badly injured and his left ribs were cracked. His teeth got broken and mouth was filled with the blood. But valiant captain kept his courage and found the wheel, lined up the stern for the next wave and hung on. The deck smashed with the new waves and the ship got full of water.